Hello, hello. How are you? I hope you're doing good. I do. I know. Look at me. I've got absolutely no makeup on. None. So I'm not sure how long this is going to take. So I'm just going to get right into it. But what I'm doing is by request, and I am going to do my morning foundation routine. And several people have asked about it. And considering I have aging skin, I hope that you can't tell too much. That is my goal. But hopefully you can take some tips and I don't know. I mean, if you like this sort of video, let me know. Obviously, it's not something I'm going to do a lot because my routine doesn't change very much. You know, obviously when I use up products, I move on to another one, but, my morning routine is pretty lengthy. So let's get into it. Got my coffee. Yes, it's coffee. Okay. So what I'm not going to do on camera is what I've already done already. Now, what that is when I, no, not when I get up in the morning. In the morning after I've had a few cups of coffee, I use my It Cosmetics Miracle Water, which I absolutely love. And I found these like little rounds at Walmart. One side is exfoliating and the other side is just a really soft cotton. So what I do is I've transferred my It Cosmetics Miracle Water into a spray bottle. So I spritz my face in the morning before I do anything else. And then I use the exfoliating side. And the It Cosmetics Miracle Water, not only is it like an anti-aging water, but it's also like a micellar cleanser. And it's like a very multi-purpose water. But yeah, so I usually use a cream mask. It doesn't necessarily be have to be a night mask. Even my just regular cream masks that say wash off after 20 minutes, sometimes I keep them on overnight. I just don't put a heavy coat on. I put a lighter coat on. So anyway, when I get up in the morning, the It Cosmetics water, I use this, spray the water on, and use this to wipe it all off. And that gets off pretty much any leftover mask from the night before, any leftover makeup, any grit or grime from the previous night. And it refreshes my face for the morning. After that, I do, what do I do? There's that. Oh, so I've got these from Boxycharm. And it was my choice for my base box, which I haven't gotten yet. But I did buy some more of them in Boxy Pop-Up. And these are the LMS Dynamic Resurfacing Pads. I use these every morning. They're very refreshing. They've got a nice light scent to them. Again, they have one side that's exfoliating, the other side that is very soft. Oh, they smell so good. So yeah, I use that. And then I start with my moisturizers. Now, I do have a couple of them. Yeah. So the main one I'm using right now, hang on a second. Okay, sorry. I was looking for something and I guess I forgot it. So, yeah. So right now I am using the Murad Resurgence Rapid Collagen Infusion. I use this in the mornings. It's a really nice light moisturizer. It goes great underneath my makeup and everything. I got this in one of my boxes. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then I have a Sunday Riley mattifying toner, cream-like. And I pat that all over my face after I put my cream on. And it helps absorb some of the oil because I do have oily skin. So if I overly moisturize, I want the moisture and hydration, but I don't want to look oily like during the day. So I use that, and that's one of the things I forgot. Okay, and then I start with my primers. Now, I've been using this, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's the Peter Lamas Supreme Radiance Complexion Booster for all skin types. It smooths wrinkles, evens skin tone, illuminates complexion, and it's ultra sheer. This was a sample I got, and I've been trying it out, using up the sample. I like it when it goes on super, super silky, so I can feel that it's, you know, getting into filling in some of my wrinkles and stuff like that. I put it on under my primer. The thing I don't like about it is it smells horrible. It really does. It goes on. Hold on. Okay. In this weird brown color. Look at that. It's not tinted or anything. And after you smooth it on, it doesn't stay brown. So don't worry about that. But it definitely smooths my skin out. I've been liking it. It's very silky, very moisturizing. I do really like it. But yeah, it stinks. It really freaking stinks. So I'm just going to use up the sample and decide from there if I'm going to keep using it. So now the primer I'm using right now is the Cover FX primer, and it's Water Cloud Primer. Here's this. Now this is a very, very, very refreshing primer. It feels incredible going on. Now it's not super silky, so it goes good with the Peter Llama stuff, Yamas stuff. But, or is it Llama? No, Llamas, Yamas, whatever. Anyway, I have a tough time with primers. I've yet to find a primer that I am head over heels in love with. Right now, my top favorite primer is the Tarte Base Tape Primer. But I am using this right now, and I do like it. I feel like my makeup wears really well. It goes on really light and refreshing. Yeah, so now we move on to my actual foundation. Now, it is summertime, so I've got all my primers on, and what I do I get everything? Yeah. What I do during the summer, well, yeah, it's not really quite summertime yet, but I usually wear a foundation that has an SPF in it, but a lot of times I will also wear a tinted moisturizer underneath it with an SPF in it. It gives me like a added glow without tanning my face, if that makes sense. So yeah. Now, right now, I found, and it's so reasonably priced, is the Dual Action Tinted Moisturizer from No. 7. And it's for all skin types. It's long-lasting hydration, environmental protection, and beautiful sheer color. Sunscreen broad spectrum, SPF 15, hypoallergenic. So it doesn't have a very, like, outrageously high SPF, but it's definitely got something in it, which of course is better than nothing. Now this tinted moisturizer is really funny because it looks very similar to my skin tone, but then after it goes on, I look tan. It's really weird. Really, really weird. So I use brushes for my makeup most of the time. Hang on. Okay, little interruption there. And I start off with a little bit on my brush, and I just dab it in on my forehead. Spread it out. See how it's kind of glowy now? I'll just smooth it in. And look at how the more I smooth it in, it's almost darker. This is just a very, I mean, I'm fascinated by this tinted moisturizer. I really am. Here, watch this. So you can't even see the color I just put on. You see it? See how light it is? Now watch when I blend it in. It's really weird. Here it comes. Look, isn't that the weirdest thing? When I initially put it on, you couldn't even see it. Now, look at the difference between the two sides of my faces. One side is like tan and glowy. The other side, blah. Blah, blah. Okay, moving on so we don't have a 30-minute video. And this moisturizer feels so good. Very light and refreshing. And that's all I use. 3 dabs. And it spreads out incredibly. Now, after I blend it with pretty much circular motions, yeah, circular and sweeps. I do a little bit of everything. I go back and I dab with a little bit of leftover product on my brush. I dab. Okay, so Mama's all glowy. Glowy, glowy, glowy. So that's the number 7 Duo Action that I put on. And then I use a separate brush for my other foundation. And this is actually the Baddington brush I got, itchy, in my Boxy Premium. It was a set of 2. There was a blush brush in this one. And they retailed for like 90 bucks. Does this brush make miracles happen? No. But I actually really love it. I have an itch. I'd never pay $90 for the set. Now there's a hair. So that means I had a hair on my face. Okay. So, my foundation. Now this I just started using, and it's going to be in my First Impressions Friday. This is the Doll 10 Proven Beauty Solutions Doll Skin Anti-Stress Skin Perfector. Yoo-hoo-hoo. Look at that. Love this foundation. Let's see if I can read it. It's really tiny. Foundation meets skincare. Dull Skin Anti-Stress Skin Perfector is a full coverage skin treatment packed with 10 ingredients that work to strengthen your skin's defenses. These soothing ingredients combat the effects of oxidative and environmental stress while leaving your skin balanced and flawless. Ooh. Okay. Turmeric, cucumber, licorice root, I don't know, aloe vera, green tea, chamomile, magnesium, vitamin C, dermal defense, lavender, flower extract. Okay, now look at my face, it's getting tanner. Isn't that weird? Okay, so I do the same thing with my Doll 10. It's got like a little pump thing on it. Now, when I put this on, it's going to look super duper light. So don't think it's like messed up. It's just the tan crap in this tinted moisturizer. Look at how light that looks now. But if I didn't have the tinted moisturizer on, this would match my skin perfectly. It's just so weird. But this is just my routine right now. I'm being honest. I'm not going to be fake and say, oh, this is all I use. Nope. Now, putting this foundation on brings me out of the orangey tan look, which for me is always nice. I do not like orangey tan. But this brought me right back to my normal skin color. But it's, I find just that it's like super glowy. And a dab on there. Ew, I think I put a little too much. Yeah, too much. Whoops. And when you're putting foundation on, sorry, I'm not like looking straight at you this whole time because I'm actually using my camera as a mirror. Don't forget to put some dabs at the base of your nose. Otherwise, your nose is going to be a completely different color. Oh, I forgot to tell you a step. Oh, man. I put eye cream on every morning. I've been using the eye cream we got in Boxy Premium. And I still have bags. And it's been a week. So whatever. I will keep using it and trying. I will. Oh, man, I did it again. Too much. You don't need a lot of this. I should be better at distributing this by now because it's not cheap. And I don't want to run out of it. I just ordered some other like anti-aging Doll 10 concealer. I'm really, really, really excited to get that. Okay, so now that I've spread everything out and brought it down on my neck to blend it in, it's so glowy. I go back and I dab. Now, I have wrinkles underneath my eyes. You kind of really can't tell unless I put too much powder on. Don't do that. Or I get too big of a smile. So I try not to. Now, one thing I've found, if, you know, even with the dabbing, if I smooth just a tad underneath my eyes, it fills in the wrinkles nicely. Okay. Mama is covered. So, that's my foundation secret that I have been keeping to myself. Now, okay, I put concealer on, and the concealer that I've been using, which I did, like I said, I purchased another one to try, but it's the Doll 10 TCE concealer. And TCE stands for Total Coverage Everywhere. So this is what it looks like. It's got like a nice, cute little applicator thing. I just squeeze it up and dab it. And usually, oh god damn, I did it too much again. When I do my concealer, I don't use a separate concealer brush, only because I feel I like it blending a little bit better. I don't like it too highlighted. If my under eyes are too light, it brings more attention to the wrinkles. So if I use the same foundation brush that I used with my foundation, it blends in perfectly, and it gives a little highlight without it being too much. And with this, I don't go all the way up into my under eye either. I just go, you know, kind of right up close to it. So there's a little highlight, but not too much. And I blend it out in like a triangle. Yeah, I put too much on this side. Not being very good at not wasting my products. And then I just go back and I do a very light sweep. Voila. Okay, now I am going to show you my little secret thing that I do with my powder, because I have a love-hate relationship with powder. Because if I set my face, excuse me, it's so rude of me to burp. If I set my face with too much powder, it settles into my wrinkles. And then I get really crazy later in the day. And I absolutely hate it. So, what I do is a special technique that I've developed. Yeah, just kidding. But yeah, no, I actually do it. So, right now I'm using the Ciate powder. I usually use the Becca Hydra Mist, but I've got a couple Ciate powders I'm trying to get through. So I put some in the cap, and then I've got my wonderful powder brush that I got from Base 10. I love this brush. You can get it. I think I have a link down below with a discount code, but you can get this from Base 10 for like 25 bucks. It is the best powder brush in the world. Okay, so anyway, put some powder on your brush, tap it off if you can, and then what I do is I start at my neck and get the bulk of the powder off, and then work up. So start there and then work up. Go around. And then do the eye area absolutely last. And do not try to, you're going to put an eye primer and set your eyes anyway. So technically, I do not put powder on my eyes directly, so that I avoid this area right here. I either avoid it or I give it a very, very light tap of powder. Go back again. Again, start on the neck. Up and around. My neck and chest get like shiny sometimes. So that way you're distributing the bulk of the powder right down here. And then with the leftover powder, you're just working your way up and finishing in your T-zone, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And that way I don't have a ton of powder settling in my under eyes. And then I have a mattifying setting spray from Morphe. That once I'm done with my powder, I will set my foundation with the mattifying setting spray. And that works just as good as, well, not just as good as the powder, but it gets rid of any excess oil. So yeah, that's it. That's what I do with my foundation. Now, other than these puffies right here, this is pretty much how I start my day every day. And then I move on to bronzer, blush, lip beads, and stuff like that. So that will be in another video. So I hope you had fun getting in on some of my secrets. I do have some other tinted moisturizers that I've got to try. But as you can tell, you know, I diffused all of the orangey tan look, but it still leaves, you know, somewhat of a glowy, you know. During the summer, when I get a little bit of color, I do go from, the Doll 10 is a light medium. I do sometimes move up to a medium, or I just wear tinted moisturizer. Especially if I'm only going to be in the pool, I'll wear an SPF moisturizer and then a tinted moisturizer. But yeah, that's it. I hope you had fun. I feel like a blank canvas now. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with me and my coffee and my little makeup adventures. Woohoo! But yeah, so this is primarily my, you know, 48-year-old aging skin, how I tend to it and moisturize it, prime it, foundation it, the whole thing. You know, finding foundations that work good with my skin, it's really hard. It is really hard, especially full coverage foundations, because they tend to be thicker. The Doll 10 feels more like a moisturizer. It really does. But I love the coverage on it. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Is this a hit or miss? I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming to hang out with me. I love you. See you later. Bye.